So hello there everyone and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for yet another episode of our FIFA 17 career mode here with Hull City, and today we make some fundamental changes to this series not fundamental changes to the series, but fundamental changes to the games that we are going to be playing, because last episode, as I'm sure you're all aware by now, was quite the joke, and it was also, on top of that, a episode that saw, I think it was it a total of 3 injuries in 3 games, which then added to 4 injuries in 4 games because of Leon Bailey from the episode before that. So yes, it was a disaster, to be quite honest with you, and I'm sure that I'm hoping this episode can only be better. But we have made a few changes to the sliders. The injury frequency is down from 50 to 25, so it's been halved, so theoretically we should have like half the chance of getting an injury in a game, which is still pretty high given our previous record in this series, but we'll have to see whether we change that. And the injury severity is even lower than that, that's at 18. On top of that, I never actually checked the injury status of Albert Rusnak, who got injured at the end of last episode, and you can already see it's not fantastic news. He's broken his ankle, the same as what Paul Georges and Tep did the game before. What a surprise that is, and he is out for 3 months, so Albert Rusnak joins the injury list of players out for the rest of the season. First bit of training then of this episode. Let's see how things go. A little bit of a tribute growth there for Stefaniak. In fact, quite a few things going up for him actually. Stefaniak already halfway to 78. It's nice to see him progressing properly and getting close to that 80 rated mark. And he's going to need to, given he is literally, as scary as this seems, our most senior winger right now, which is saying something, given we bought him at 68 overall last season. So then just going to quickly show off what we've got in today's episode of Career Mode, because I didn't do it in the intro. We've got 2 EPL games to start off this episode against Leicester City and Crystal Palace, who of course managed to get in the Champions League for this season, so that won't be an easy tie. And we've also got the first leg of our quarter-final in the Champions League, which seems to be very late in the season for a quarter-final. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's April. That feels as if it's way, way too late in the season to be having a quarter-finals of a Champions League. We've still got to fit in the semis. So, I mean, I'm guessing the semis will be here, and then the final will be right at the end of the month, but it seems very, very late to be having a quarter-final. Oh, it's happened. It's happened. The best bit of news we could possibly get this episode has occurred. Vincent Cosiello has been cleared to return from his injury. The legend of this series already is back and ready for selection after his injury. This is massive. This is huge news. He won't return for the Leicester game because I've literally got this email the day before the Leicester game, so he won't have the stamina to be able to play this game, so he'll have to still play a randomer at number 10, but he'll be back for the Champions League ties, and he'll be back hopefully for the rest of the season without any future injuries. Let's go. So it's now time for the first game of today's episode, and we're away from home against Leicester City. It's a return to the King Power Stadium for a game on this channel. Obviously it was the beloved home of Leicester during my career mode on FIFA 16, but today we've got to go there trying to beat them. Stefaniak and Snodgrass are the chosen wingers, with Cyprien playing in that number 10 role. I can only pray that this episode goes better than the last one. Both in terms of injuries and in terms of results and in terms of action. I mean, last episode had nothing apart from me raging, to be quite honest with you. From my perspective, it had nothing enjoyable whatsoever. For the first time really in this entire title race, we find ourselves not at the head of it, which I suppose is quite nice, because we shouldn't have won the league last year and we still don't really have a squad that should be winning the league comfortably. So hopefully, at least with Azmoun back in the side, we can do a little bit more in this game. Here's Ebenezer Afori, and obviously it won't be too long before Cosiello's back as well. Azmoun goes for a long shot. Decent effort, to be quite honest with you. That is not too far away from Sardar Azmoun. Got a bit of support there from Ebenezer Afori. That's over to Abel Hernandez, who goes for a shot, and Ebenezer Afori can't quite get there after the save from Kasper Schmeichel. It's not actually Hernandez. What am I on about? Hernandez isn't playing. I'm being an idiot. It was Wyland Cyprien with the shot, not Abel Hernandez. Afori. That's now to Azmoun. Good little on-rushing run from Cyprien. Oh, he probably should have put that in on his left foot, but Kasper Schmeichel with a great one-on-one save. Still got a bit of a chance, though, at the end of this half. That's Cyprien. Now that's Azmoun. He get away from his defensive yieldings. Azmoun, it's into the back of the net. Sardar Azmoun gets our first goal in absolutely flipping ages. Whatever I said in commentary made no sense because I was focusing too much. But Sada, I think I said yielding, and it made. Forgive me, please, for the love of God. I'd be a better commentator if I wasn't playing the game myself, but it's gone in off Mark Muniaza and it's been given as an own goal. All the dirty work though done by Sada Azmoun, and we finally get a goal in this series in recent times. Finally something to be happy with, and it comes right on the edge of the break as well. We go in at half-time, 1-0 up at the King Power Stadium. Ball into the box there, punched clear by Mvogo, only as far though as Nampalys Mendy on the volley, hits the post. Valkvist can get it clear just about. And it'll be kept in, no it won't be kept in, thankfully, by Ahmed Musa. What an effort that was from Nampalys Mendy. Here's Andrew Robertson, that's Afori. There's a man over, but I don't think Afori's going to use him actually. Oh, no, he's just going to get tackled by him instead. Maybe I should have used him, because then it wouldn't have been an issue of Snodgrass actually tackling his own man. Snodgrass loses it. Valkvist then wins it back. Can Snodgrass keep it in? That 5-second period there has just summed up why we don't play Robert Snodgrass anymore. His decline, it's just so annoying. Old players on this game there's just no point using them, and it's such a shame, because I like Snodgrass. He's doing so well in real life, but he's horrible to use on this game. Anyway, here's Azmoun. That's through to Cyprian. This should be 2, and it is. Wyland Cyprian gets our second and doubles our lead in this one. And the Frenchman playing in the number 10 role, he's been far more influential in that role in this game than he has been whenever he's played there before. Looks as if he's finally getting used to the role. That lovely run in behind, good little weighted ball from Sada Azmoun, and he tucks it into the bottom corner. And with the way this game is going, that should be enough to get us all 3 points, to be quite honest with you. Good interception there from Snodgrass. Gets the ball to Azmoun. Here's Stefaniak, Cyprian, who's about to come off actually as things stand. Indeed, he's found Azmoun, goes to the little dink. He should be able to put that in at the rebound, and indeed he does. It is 3-0. Sada Azmoun gets the goal that he, to be honest with you, does deserve. The ball through, I think, was from Ndidi. He went for the dink actually, but it was well saved by Kasper Schmeichel. All coming from a lovely interception or a lovely tackle from Snodgrass. There's the ball through. Azmoun goes for a little dink. It falls back to him, and he just about squeezes it in. Mark Muniaza can't quite get there, and it is a return to scoring ways in some fashion. Tell you why, Shea Adams, completely irrelevant off-topic point, given the scoreline and what's just happened. I'll tell you why Shea Adams hasn't scored in this series yet. He's wearing a number 13 shirt. I'm going to do an experiment. Next episode we'll change his kit number and we'll see whether he can score. Anyway, Mason's won the ball back there and we can go again now. And Ndidi, Shea Adams in here actually. This could be his chance to prove me wrong. He's going to cut inside. He's going to go for the finesse, and he almost finds the bottom corner just wide from Shea Adams, but good effort from him. He looks a very promising player, but it's his finishing that sometimes lets him down, but he's through again. This could finally be the first goal for Shea Adams, and he puts it wide again. Oh my god, it's actually the number 13. It actually is. It actually is. He's put it... Oh, that's a shocking miss. Here comes Muniaza, of all people, down this left-hand side. He's got no stamina at all, but somehow he's still fending off Valkvist. He's gone past him. It's into Slimani, into the back post, and it's somehow headed wide. Now back to Musa again. Here's Drinkwater. Now to Jamie Vardy, who's gone past his man far too easily, and he's found the back of the net. It's poor defending from myself. I will blame myself entirely, although... Well, actually, no. 50-50. The second challenge was my fault. I think, was it Omaruo? No, okay, Omaruo's own guy. That's the AI's fault. The AI of Omaruo let Vardy turn way too easily, but then Valkvist coming in was far too weak from myself. The game does end 3-1. Still a very good victory. A few warning signs, to be honest with you. Musa missed a sitter towards the end. Nampalys Mendy hit the post, and then some pretty shambolic defending from both the AI and myself gave Jamie Vardy an opportunity to get a goal back. But we were 3-0 up by that point, so I suppose you could say it doesn't matter too much. It's still a very good victory, and thankfully we're back to both scoring and, crucially, winning ways. Sada Azmoun gets man of the match, 9.5 rating for him, 9 rating for Cyprien, and a 9.1 for Ndidi. Look at this guy. We've got Lance Harris. in the youth academy. Backstory. I got a few emails a second ago saying that a few youth academy players were wanting to leave, so I thought, well, with an injury crisis at the club, this is probably the best opportunity we're ever going to get to promote some youth academy players and get them some game time. And check this kid out. He's our scout future star. He's 62 overall, not too bad, ridiculous potential, and he's already got a really good pace and agility and stuff. He's got 91 curve as well. Time then for the second game of today's episode, and the main thing here is that man like Cos is back. Vincent Cosiello returns to the starting 11 after his 2-month injury. Oh, it's brilliant to see him back in that number 10 role. Crystal Palace then are our opponents for this game, and it's the matchup of two teams that really were a shining light of Season 1 of this save. Us, for obvious reasons, we won the league, but Crystal Palace obviously coming fourth and grabbing Champions League football in that season number 1 was very much a shock to most people as well, so props to them. I don't know how far they've managed to get in the Champions League, to be quite honest with you, but I know they managed to get through the qualifying stages. Obviously, we're still in the Champions League going strong in the quarterfinals, but I'm not entirely sure Palace are still in the competition. Going into this game, they're 14th in the league as well, so clearly European competition has hit them hard. Before he might look for a bit of space, he does find that space. It's now Vincent Cosiello with the long shot just wide of the post. What a welcome back that would have been for the diminutive Frenchman on his left foot as well. I was hoping he'd hit that with his right, but he went with his weak foot. Valkvist, freshly on a yellow card, finds Vincent Cosiello and he's about to pull the trigger. Pape Suarez giving it back to him though, but then makes up for it. Now back to Valkvist. Decent effort though from the Swede. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get forward in a good enough manner to really get forward quickly, although Cosiello's dancing into the box, goes for the shot, and it's a good save from Mondonda. Kenneth Omaruo, you've got more strength than Bernard, but you haven't got the pace to deal with it. Valkvist, oh my word. Okay, that's been... yeah, okay, don't ever want to see that happen again. Great challenge from Afori, but what in the world just happened? Anyway, here's Connor Wickham, managed to get away from Linus Valkvist. Ball into the box towards Bernard, but headed away, as you would expect, given Bernard's so small. That is a great effort, though, from Kabaye, but just wide of Mvogo's post. Great volley from Kabaye, and if anyone's got the technical ability on that Crystal Palace side to find the back of the net with a shot like that, it is definitely Johan Kabaye. Here's Shea Adams, now to Ndidi. Cosiello, back to Ndidi again. Now Asmoon, this is some lovely quick passing. Oh, Stefaniak's got a bit of space here as well. Right, can we get anything going here? It's Marvin Stefaniak with the shot. Good save, though, from Undanda. Got Asmoon for company. Right, here is Asmoon. Can go on a little run, can Sardar Asmoon. He's gone past Scott Dan far too easily for Crystal Palace, and a last-ditch challenge again comes in from a Palace defender, this time Pape Suarez. That is wonderful. That is the end of the game. All of our efforts going into getting that goal at the end, but it does end 0-0. Hopefully we're not back to boring ways. I don't know, FIFA 17 feels a lot like FIFA 16 at the moment, but the draw definitely the fair result in my opinion. But Michael Keane is the man who gets man of the match. Some honourable mentions as well for good ratings from Valkvist, Ndidi and Stefaniak, and a 7.3 for Cosiello on his return back to the squad. Maybe lacking a little bit in terms of just sharpness, but he did still at least make quite a few things happen in that game, mainly in the first half. Dropped off a little bit in the second half, which is understandable after 2 months out with injury. Right then, time for what could be considered the main attraction. It is Hull City versus Atletico Madrid in the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals. The biggest game in terms of stature that we've played in this entire series so far. Playing against Antoine Griezmann's Atletico Madrid, and we're quite tired going into the game. We thought we'd had enough of a challenge facing Bayern Munich in the round of 16, but it's Atletico Madrid who greet us in the last 8 of this Champions League competition. It is quite interesting though, because I was actually questioning whether Crystal Palace was still in the Champions League, because I just assumed they'd gone out in the group stages, because I think they'd had quite a difficult group, but they've actually managed to make it not only out of the groups, but also out of the round of 16 and into the quarters as well. I'll do Barjo's making a bit of an overlap. He's got men in the middle. That's towards the back post. Moya comes and punches, and it's cleared away for a corner. The high pressing's been good. The passing's been pretty good. We've looked all right. Here comes Vincent Cosiello with a long shot and just flashes wide of the post. Here's a four. It's back to Cosiello again. We're looking pretty good in this game, genuinely. Here's Asmoon. Stefaniak's got a little bit of space here out on the wing, and he's cutting inside. It's Marvin Stefaniak. Oh, no, my word. That has to be a goal. Marvin Stefaniak, oh, I love you, mate, but you do miss a sitter every now and again. That's a poor miss. That really is a poor miss. Here's Kevin Gamero's made a good run. He's got Michael Keane again for company. Englishman's managed to slow him down, but has somehow given away an advantage or a foul. I mean, we are in European competition, so obviously the refs are a little bit softer, shall we say, but that didn't look as if there was too much wrongdoing there. Ball into the box towards Godin. Good save, though, from Ivan Vogo at his near post. That's to Cyprian, now to Sardar Azmoun, who can turn. He's got a bit of space as Sardar Azmoun goes for the shot. It's fallen back to him. What a volley, what a finish from Sardar Azmoun. That is incredible stuff from the Iranian. I mean, that's the first volley we've scored all series. The ball just comes to us. I think I was actually silent and concentrating until the ball came to him because I wasn't really expecting too much. He worked some space, managed to get past Godin far too easily. It's blocked by Felipe Luis, but what a volley that is on the rebound from Sardar Azmoun. That is hit so sweetly. And we're 1-0 up in the first leg again in the Champions League against superior opposition. And that ends what has been a very, very positive half of football for ourselves. 1-0 going in at the break at the KC Stadium. Very, very good half from ourselves. Oh, Griezmann's gone past Sonjust far too easily. He's got the pace here to get away. But Odubajo just comes in like a wrecking ball and just annihilates Griezmann, who's had no fun and games in this football match whatsoever so far. And Afori there trying to get the ball off Griezmann, who's cut inside, and he's found the back of the net. And it only takes that for Atletico Madrid to get back into proceedings and grab an away goal. And it's so annoying because it's Antoine Griezmann who's done absolutely nothing all game. We've definitely created and probably dominated the balance of play. We've definitely created more chances and also really just we've contributed more to this game as well. But here's Cyprian. This is back to Cosiello. We could get an instant response, and we have. Vincent Cosiello makes it 2-1 just 2 minutes after Atletico Madrid got the equaliser, and we're back in the lead of this game. It was harsh on us was the goal for Atletico Madrid, for Griezmann, but Cosiello with a little 1-2 between himself and Cyprian. It's the French connection for ourselves, and we grab a goal to restore our lead. Here comes Griezmann going for a shot and almost finding the back of the net. He's looking very dangerous all of a sudden. Actually, it was Saul. Now to Cyprian, that's into Keane. Can he get away? Yes, he can. Can he put a ball into the box? He can, towards the back post, and it's just put wide by, I think, Abel Hernandez, of all people, off the bench. That header at the end, that would have given us a 2-goal advantage going into the away tie at the Vicente Calderon. The mixed feelings at the end of that game. Could have definitely been a 2-goal lead there right at the end, but at least we are taking a lead into that second leg. Antoine Griezmann did get a goal, but it wasn't enough for his side to get at least a draw out of the first leg. Good result then in the first game of this tie, and it's a 9.4 rating for Wyland Cyprian, interestingly, who gets man of the match. 9 rating as well for Cosiello, so great stuff from him. And Crystal Palace managed to beat Besiktas 2-0. Genuinely, they've got a fantastic chance of getting into the semi-finals of the Champions League. So here is how the league has been affected then by this episode. We are now 5 points behind Manchester United with 7 games of the season to go. Our next game in the EPL is against Manchester United, and you've got to feel that's a do-or-die game. If we lose, we're realistically out of the title fight. We're 8 points behind with 6 games to go. If we win, though, we're only 2 points off the lead of the title, or the leaders of the EPL, with 6 games to go. In the background, though, you are now seeing the Hall of Fame. A few things will have been changing in terms of goals scored and in terms of appearances, but obviously appearances now, Vincent Cosiello can continue adding to his record. Nevertheless, that is basically the end of this episode. As per usual, you can see a poll in the top right of the screen, which will take you to the Player of the Episode poll, and you guys can vote for which player was your Player of the Episode in this one, and of course whoever wins that will play every single game of the next episode as my chair squeaks in the background. If you've enjoyed this video though, feel free to smash the likes button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and comment about enjoying the video if you enjoyed it that much. It has been a pleasure though ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
Yo, biddy bang, biddy boo. Man can't fuck with the Nottingham crew. Put 1, 2, 9 holes in the queue. Wanna ride on me, you better change that route. I'm a lyrical animal straight out of the zoo. Big mate, man, big like Big Zoo. 15 going OT on my own, done it all alone. I never been a ring true. KYE, the hardest YG, my G. Better know he kicks like Kung Fu. Try me, you must have won some food.